Dear students, today we will take a problem on business again. So this is the problem given. P&L account of Mr. Amar for the previous year 2018-19. So the particulars of the expenses are debited to the P&L account are given below here. So now salary is 1,80,000, rent and taxes 1,20,000, establishment expenses 2,70,000, provision for bad debts 5,000, publicity 30,000, patents purchased 1 lakh, technical know-how 1 lakh. So technical know-how is also like a patent, it is also an intellectual property. Since nothing is given, it is also purchased and the date of purchase is also given here, that is on 1/1/2019. Then depreciation 70,000, provision for taxation rupees 80,000, donation to National Laboratory. Donation to National Laboratory, that means it is contributed by the assessee for the scientific research. So it is 50,000. Net profit is 4,45,000. And on the credit side on the P&L account, we have gross profit 10 lakh, and then by commission received 1 lakh, and then by refund of GST, that is goods and services tax 25,000, then by refund of excise penalty 50,000, by interest on securities 25,000, by rent from house property 1,20,000, by profit on sale of shares 30,000, by share of income from HUF rupees 1 lakh. So the total of the P&L account is 14 lakhs 50,000. Now we have additional information here. The first one is establishment expenses include rupees 10,000 for repairs to house property. So I'll go back to establishment expenses here. The establishment expenses is given as 2,70,000. So let us make a mark here because we have a adjustment to this particular item here, establishment expenses. So establishment expenses include rupees 10,000 for repairs to house property. Say repairs to house property is not a business expenditure because this is the repairs is carried on with respect to the house property, and when you look at the credit side of the P&L account, the rent from house property is an income from house property is also given. So this might be related to this property here, and basically rent from house property is not a business income. This has to be deducted here in order to calculate the actual income of business. Likewise, this expenditure cannot be allowed because this is related to a non-business income. That means this is a non-business expenditure here. And then rupees 5,000 paid outside India without TDS. Say any payments made outside India without the tax deducted at source, that is in India, cannot be considered as an expenditure. So therefore this has to be disallowed. So there are two expenses which are to be disallowed here, which are included under establishment expenses. Both this 10,000 repairs to H property and then rupees 5,000 which is paid outside India without payment of TDS in India is to be deducted. That means it is to be added back to know the actual profit. And then the next is salary includes rupees 30,000 to owner's son, and as per ITO, that is income tax officer or maybe office, rupees 5,000 is excessive. So this is included in salaries. So salary is given as rupees 1,80,000 here. So this is, it says that it is paid to the owner's son. Owner's son might be, we should construe that owner's son is one of the employees of the organization here. So therefore he has been paid some salary, but rupees 5,000 is paid in excess as per the income tax officer. So therefore now this is to be disallowed. That means it is to be added back here. And then the next adjustment given is 40% of taxation was paid before last date and the balance still unpaid. So for 40% of taxation is pertaining to, say, the provision for taxation here. See the provision for taxation, we have an adjustment here. See provision for taxation is given as rupees 80,000. This is given as rupees 80,000. And now here it says that 40% of taxation was paid before last date and the balance still unpaid. So whatever is said and given here, basically the payment of tax is not a allowable expenditure, and moreover it is a provision here. So provision for tax is not allowed, whatever the explanation given here. So this is to be disallowed, that means this has to be added back. And then the next adjustment given is about depreciation. Depreciation allowed as per income tax provision is rupees 50,000. This is excluding patent and technical how purchased. This is given like this. So this is apart from these two assets. This is an intellectual property, right? Or it is also a intangible asset of the organization here. The depreciation allowable as per IT provision is only 50,000. But let us see how much is debited here. See, he has debited 70,000 here. So out of 70,000, only 50,000 is allowable. That means he has debited 20,000 rupees extra or in excess here. That has to be disallowed here. That means it has to be added back to the profits here. And then it says that it is excluding the depreciation on patent technical know-how. So here we come across with the P&L account which is given as patent purchase 1 lakh and technical know-how purchased. So this is also purchased. So this we can take the meaning from this here. They say that excluding patent and technical know-how purchase. So both are purchased, newly purchased assets here. So what he has done is he has debited the capital amount itself here. That is the purchase price itself is debited here. So since it is a capital expenditure, this has to be eliminated, or this is an inadmissible expenditure. That means it has to be added back. But only thing is we can provide depreciation here. Both are eligible for depreciation because so they are the assets of the company. So these are the given adjustments here. Okay, let us go to the solution here. Now so as usual, this is the format is okay. We have the 3 columns here, particulars and inner and outer column here. Net profit as per P&L account is taken, that is 4,45,000 as given in the P&L account. 4,45,000 is the $4,45,000 is the amount of profit. This is the amount of net profit. Now 4,45,000 is taken. Now we have certain items which are to be added and certain items which are to be deducted. Now what are to be added here? The items that are to be added are can be categorized under 3 classifications here, as we have already discussed. The first one is inadmissible expenses. Inadmissible expenses are those expenses which are not allowed under Income Tax Act pertaining to the business, and that means these expenses are already debited in the P&L account. If there are any such expenses which are debited in the P&L account here, that has to be eliminated. That means we have to add it back to the current profit as per P&L account, so that we can calculate the correct profit here. And the second item to be added back is the business incomes which are not credited in the P&L account. Those business incomes which are not credited in the P&L account, they are business incomes, but the assessee has not credited it in the P&L account. If it is not credited in the P&L account, then so if it is given in the adjustment, it has to be, again we have to take the credit for those business incomes in order to know the exact profit. So therefore they are to be added back here. And then the overvaluation of opening stock and undervaluation of closing stock. Both overvaluation and undervaluation of overvaluation of opening stock and undervaluation of closing stock. So that will reduce the profit. So therefore it has to be any amount of the overvaluation or undervaluation here with respect to opening stock and closing stocks are to be added back here. And then there are certain items which are to be deducted likewise. So these are the 3 items which are to be deducted out of the the profits, the current profits as calculated by the assessee. That is admissible expenses not debited in the P&L account. There might be some admissible expenses, that means they are expenses which are allowed as per Income Tax Act, but these expenses are not taken by the assessee, or these items are not debited in the P&L account. These might be given in the adjustments. So these items ought to be deducted here to know the correct profits. And then likewise, non-business and non-taxable incomes. Non-business and non-taxable incomes which are credited in the P&L account. You might have taken into consideration various incomes and gains which are not coming under the head income from business or profession. So in that case, those items are to be picked up from the given P&L account here. So as we have discussed, there are various credits given. So I have to look into each of the items, and then we have to see whether they are pertaining to the business activity or not, and then it has to be deducted here. And then undervaluation of opening stock and overvaluation of closing stock.